Creating a Life You Love, written and published by Sonic Tome. It's in the quiet moments, when the noise of life fades and the world holds its breath, that we begin to feel it, the pulse of something deeper, a subtle pull toward meaning that refuses to be ignored. It's not the kind that can be measured by success or accolades, nor is it confined to the fleeting victories of our daily routines. No, this is a force that moves beneath the surface, an unspoken truth that calls us to live not just for ourselves, but for something far greater. It's the call to build a life that reverberates long after the echoes of our footsteps have disappeared into the distance. This is not the story of chasing fame or chasing fortune, nor the pursuit of an empty dream stitched together by superficial achievements. It's the journey of moving through life with intention, where each choice, each action, becomes part of an unspoken promise, a promise to leave behind a trace of ourselves that serves as a guiding light for others. The kind of impact that doesn't dissipate like smoke in the wind, but plants roots so deep that generations yet unborn will know it as a part of their own story. What does it mean to truly live in this way, to craft a legacy that isn't static but alive, constantly weaving itself into the fabric of tomorrow? It's the art of stepping into your role, not just as a participant, but as a creator, someone who doesn't merely navigate through existence but shapes it, molds it, infuses it with purpose. It's the difference between being a mere observer and a force that moves the world forward. It's recognizing that your actions, no matter how small, are threads in the tapestry of something much larger than you could ever envision. If we are to understand this, we must embrace the reality that legacy isn't the end of a story, but the silent hum that continues after the page is turned. It is the unseen spark that inspires others to find their own path, a steady current that holds the promise of progress and change. Living a life with this kind of awareness is a profound act of courage. It requires looking beyond the immediate, beyond the comfort of the present moment, and asking yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? Each moment holds within it the seed of the extraordinary, and when we harness that potential, we start building something that lives beyond the transience of today. The legacy you choose to create is not bound by what you own or how many accolades you collect. It's measured by the lasting impression you leave on the hearts and minds of others, by the quiet, powerful way you inspire them to grow, reach, and dare. A legacy in motion doesn't wait for an audience or the perfect moment. It becomes the moment, in every choice, in every step taken with the knowledge that this right here is what matters. Chapter 1. The Spark Within. Every person carries within them a unique essence, a potential waiting to be awakened. This spark is not something external. It is an inherent force that resides deep within, often buried beneath layers of routines, responsibilities, and societal expectations. Finding it is not about searching outside for validation or direction, but about listening closely to the whispers of your inner world. Your spark might begin as a faint glimmer, a subtle pull toward an idea, an activity, or a vision that feels unexplainably right. This feeling is not always loud or obvious. It might emerge as a quiet joy while engaging in something that makes you lose track of time. Sometimes, it is found in moments of adversity when you're forced to confront what truly matters to you. This fire is deeply personal. It thrives on authenticity. It cannot be dictated by the expectations of others or the fleeting trends of the world. To connect with it, you must be willing to question what you've been told to value and embrace what genuinely resonates with you. Often this means stepping away from distractions and noise, allowing yourself the space to reflect on the things that energize and excite you at a core level. The spark within is both fragile and resilient. Like a tiny flame, it requires nurturing to grow into something powerful. It doesn't thrive in doubt or fear, but feeds on courage and curiosity. It challenges you to ask the hard questions. What would you pursue if success was guaranteed? What brings you a sense of purpose even in the smallest, simplest moments? These questions are not always comfortable, but they are necessary to uncover the truths that lie dormant within. Once this fire is ignited, it becomes an unstoppable force. It infuses your actions with meaning and transforms mundane tasks into steps toward something greater. It doesn't mean life will be free of challenges, but the presence of this fire shifts your perspective. Obstacles become opportunities to grow, not reasons to quit. Doubts become sparks for innovation, and failures turn into the ashes from which new ideas are born. The spark isn't a destination, it's a beginning. It evolves as you evolve, adapting to the seasons of your life. Nurture it, protect it, and let it guide you. When you align your life with this inner fire, you're not just living, you're creating, thriving, and leaving behind a legacy that is uniquely yours. Chapter 2. Blueprints of the Soul. Imagine your life as a grand masterpiece, and you are both the artist and the architect. Before the brush meets the canvas or the first stone is laid, there must be a vision, a blueprint that captures the essence of what you want to create. But unlike a physical structure, the blueprints of the soul are not rigid or constrained by external standards. They are fluid, shaped by your deepest values and desires, and are meant to evolve as you grow. Creating this vision begins with a profound connection to yourself. It requires stepping away from the noise of expectations and distractions to uncover what genuinely resonates within you. This is not a task to be rushed or outsourced. It's a sacred process of introspection, a dialogue with the core of who you are. What drives you? What makes you feel alive? What kind of legacy do you wish to leave behind? The answers to these questions are not always immediate, but they are worth the patience and effort to uncover. A true blueprint is not about achieving perfection or checking off arbitrary goals. It's about alignment, ensuring that what you pursue is a reflection of who you are at your essence. When your actions and aspirations align with your values, they bring clarity and purpose. This alignment is like a compass, guiding you through the uncertainties and complexities of life, with a sense of direction that feels authentic and fulfilling. But crafting this vision also requires courage. It's not uncommon to discover that the life you've been living may not fully align with the life you desire. This realization can be unsettling, but it's also liberating. It's an opportunity to make deliberate choices that honor your soul's blueprint. This may mean letting go of certain paths, roles, or habits that no longer serve you, even if they once felt comfortable or expected. The process of creating a blueprint for your soul also involves imagination. It's about dreaming without limitations, allowing yourself to envision possibilities that might initially seem out of reach. Too often people restrict their dreams based on practicality or fear of failure, but a blueprint of the soul is not bound by such constraints. It thrives on the belief that what is meaningful and true to you has the potential to manifest, even in ways you can't yet foresee. This vision is not static. It adapts as you experience life, gain wisdom, and refine your understanding of what truly matters. It's a living, breathing representation of your inner world, designed to grow alongside you. Revisiting and adjusting your blueprint is not a sign of failure, but a testament to your ongoing evolution. Just as an artist revises their sketch or an architect refines their design, so too must you remain open to reshaping your vision as new insights emerge. At its heart, crafting the blueprints of your soul is an act of love and self-respect. It's a declaration that your life is worth designing with care and intention, not simply leaving to chance or the influence of others. It's about creating a path that feels uniquely yours, a path that honors your values, celebrates your desires, and leads you toward a life that feels deeply meaningful and fulfilling. Chapter 3. Threads of Time. Time is the only resource that flows continuously, untouched by human control. It is both fleeting and infinite, a paradox that challenges us to give meaning to each moment while knowing we can never hold on to it. The threads of time, though intangible, are woven into the very fabric of our lives, connecting the past, present, and future in an intricate tapestry. How you choose to weave these threads determines the richness and texture of your existence. Weaving purpose into your days does not demand grand gestures or monumental changes. Instead, it calls for intention in the smallest acts. Purpose is not something to be stumbled upon. It is created, thread by thread, as you infuse meaning into your actions and decisions. It is found in the way you greet each morning, the care you pour into your work, and the kindness you extend to others. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to the pattern of your life. To weave purpose is to be present. It's about immersing yourself in the moment at hand, fully aware of its significance. When you truly engage with what you are doing, time no longer feels like something slipping away. Instead, it becomes an ally, a partner in creating something meaningful. This presence doesn't mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It means using them as guides rather than burdens. Reflect on what has shaped you, envision where you want to go, and then ground yourself in the now as the place where action happens. Purpose also requires prioritization. Not every thread deserves the same attention or energy. Some moments hold more weight in the greater tapestry of your life. The challenge lies in recognizing these moments and devoting yourself to them fully. This doesn't mean dismissing routine tasks or obligations, but rather seeing how even these can contribute to a larger sense of purpose when approached with intention. The threads of time are not always uniform. There are bright threads of joy, dark threads of struggle, and muted threads of routine. All are necessary. The contrast between them creates depth and complexity. Purpose is not about erasing difficulties, but about finding meaning through them. Struggles can reveal strengths you didn't know you had, and moments of quiet can provide the space to reflect and realign. Weaving a purposeful life also means recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Your actions, no matter how personal they seem, ripple outward. The time you spend investing in your dreams, nurturing relationships, or contributing to your community enriches the tapestry of others as well. These shared threads create a larger design, a collective narrative that ties you to humanity as a whole. There is no single way to weave purpose into your life, no definitive pattern to follow. Each person's tapestry is unique, reflecting their values, experiences, and aspirations. The key is to be intentional with the threads you hold, to choose them with care, and to weave them in a way that feels true to who you are. It is a daily practice, an ongoing art, and the masterpiece is never complete. Chapter 4. The Energy Equation. Life is not a race of constant acceleration. It is a journey that requires balance and rhythm. Ambition, while a powerful force, can be demanding, pulling you toward achievement, growth, and progress. However, like any force, it requires a counterbalance, an awareness of your well-being. The energy equation is the interplay between these two, the drive to pursue your goals, and the need to nurture the vessel that carries you forward. The energy you bring to your life is finite yet replenishable. It thrives on cycles, not an endless stream of output. Recognizing these cycles means understanding when to push forward with vigor and when to step back to recharge. It's not a weakness to pause, it's a necessity. Just as a musician understands the power of rests between notes, you must learn the importance of rest within the tempo of your life. Ambition without well-being can quickly become unsustainable. It may propel you to short-term victories, but at the cost of long-term vitality. The pursuit of your goals must be paired with practices that restore and protect your energy. This involves more than physical health. It's about emotional, mental, and even spiritual well-being. Each of these facets contributes to your overall energy, forming the foundation from which your ambitions can thrive. Balancing the energy equation means becoming attuned to your limits and respecting them. This doesn't mean abandoning challenges, but approaching them with the awareness of how to distribute your energy wisely. Sometimes the answer lies in saying no to what doesn't align with your priorities, creating space for what truly matters. Other times, it means delegating or asking for help, a sign of strength, not weakness, as it reflects your commitment to sustaining your path. Understanding the energy equation also means embracing imperfection. The pursuit of balance is not about achieving a flawless equilibrium. It's about adaptability. Life will always have its ebbs and flows, its moments of intense effort and quieter periods of recovery. What matters is your ability to adjust, to recognize when to lean into ambition and when to prioritize well-being. Energy is also deeply tied to passion. What ignites your enthusiasm can often replenish your reserves, even in the face of challenges. This is why aligning your ambitions with your values and interests is so critical. When you pursue goals that resonate with your core, the energy required feels less like depletion and more like fulfillment. However, even passion requires careful stewardship. Burnout can creep in if you forget to care for the source of your drive, yourself. The energy equation is dynamic, constantly influenced by your choices, habits, and environment. It requires mindfulness to identify what drains you and what fuels you. External pressures and distractions often compete for your energy, but your awareness allows you to protect it. Surrounding yourself with environments and people that uplift you, rather than deplete you, becomes a key part of sustaining your journey. Ambition and well-being are not opposing forces. They are partners. Together, they form the foundation for a life that is not only successful, but also meaningful and enduring. Your ability to balance them shapes the pace and quality of your journey, ensuring that the path you walk is one you can sustain, not just for a moment, but for the lifetime of purpose you are creating. Chapter 5. Shadows and Light. Perfection is a mirage that many chase, believing it to be the gateway to a fulfilling life. Yet the truth is far more profound. It is in the interplay of shadows and light that the beauty of existence emerges. To live fully means to embrace not only the radiant highlights of our lives, but also the shadows that shape us. These imperfections, these scars, tell the story of who we are, of how we've lived, struggled, and grown. Every shadow holds a lesson, even if it's one we'd prefer not to learn. It may come from a failure, a heartbreak, or a moment of self-doubt. These experiences often leave us feeling incomplete, flawed, or unworthy. But when we allow ourselves to examine these moments honestly, we uncover their hidden value. Shadows are not voids. They are filled with the textures of life, the grit that refines us into something more authentic and enduring. The light of self-awareness shines brightest when it illuminates our imperfections. Instead of turning away from what makes us uncomfortable, we must look at it with compassion and curiosity. What do these aspects of ourselves reveal? What fears, desires, or beliefs do they expose? Embracing these truths about ourselves is not an act of resignation, but one of courage. It's in this vulnerability that we find strength, not in pretending to be unblemished, but in owning our wholeness. Life's beauty often lies in its contrasts. Consider the richness of a painting, how light and shadow interact to create depth and meaning. Our lives are no different. The joys we experience are amplified by the struggles we've endured. The warmth of connection feels sweeter when we've known isolation. These contrasts are not contradictions but complements, enriching the tapestry of our existence. Imperfections are also an invitation to connect with others on a deeper level. When we share our struggles and vulnerabilities, we break down the barriers of pretense and invite authenticity. Relationships flourish not because they are perfect, but because they are real. The cracks in our facades allow others to see us, to understand us, and to offer us grace. This shared humanity forms the foundation of trust, empathy, and community. To embrace imperfections is also to release the exhausting pursuit of external validation. Perfection often seeks applause, but meaning is found in quiet contentment. It's in knowing that your value isn't tied to flawless performance, but to your unique essence. The world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence, your truth, and your willingness to show up fully, even when it feels messy or incomplete. The interplay of shadows and light also encourages us to let go of comparison. Each life is a unique masterpiece, painted with its own hues and textures. Trying to measure ourselves against others is like judging a sunset against a mountain. Each is extraordinary in its own way. Embracing our imperfections means recognizing that our journey is ours alone, shaped by our experiences, choices, and the lessons we've learned along the way. Shadows remind us that we are alive, that we are evolving. They are the places where growth takes root, where resilience is born, and where wisdom is cultivated. Without them, life would be flat, lacking the depth that gives it meaning. To live fully is to honor both the light that lifts us and the shadows that ground us, understanding that together they form the whole of who we are. Chapter 6. The Harmony Code. Relationships are the invisible threads that weave the fabric of our lives. Each connection, no matter how fleeting or enduring, contributes to the melody of our existence. Yet, the art of building relationships that truly empower and inspire requires more than just casual interactions. It demands intentionality, understanding, and a willingness to invest in something larger than oneself. At the heart of every empowering relationship lies mutual respect. Respect is not simply about politeness or courtesy. It is a deep acknowledgement of another person's individuality and worth. When you respect someone, you see them not as a reflection of your needs or expectations, but as a unique entity with their own dreams, struggles, and potential. This foundation creates a space where trust can grow, and trust, in turn, becomes the bridge for honest and open communication. Empowering relationships also thrive on active listening. Listening is more than hearing words. It is about being fully present, absorbing not just what is said, but what is left unsaid. In this attentive silence, you create an environment where others feel valued and understood. It's in this exchange that inspiration often arises, not from grand gestures or profound statements, but from the simple act of being heard and seen. Inspiration in relationships also stems from the courage to be authentic. When you bring your true self into your connections, you invite others to do the same. This authenticity is not about revealing every flaw or fear, but about showing up as you are, without pretense. It creates a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to embrace their own truths and share them without fear of judgment. Authenticity transforms relationships into sanctuaries of mutual growth and encouragement. The relationships that empower us the most are those where giving and receiving exist in harmony. Empowerment is not about dominance or dependency. It's about balance. You pour into others not out of obligation, but out of genuine care, and you allow others to pour into you without resistance. This exchange of energy nurtures both parties, fostering a cycle of strength and support that elevates everyone involved. Empowering relationships are also those that challenge us. They don't merely comfort or agree with us. They push us to grow, to see perspectives we might have overlooked, and to stretch beyond our perceived limits. These challenges are not confrontations, but opportunities to expand our understanding and capabilities. When approached with humility and openness, they become the catalysts for personal and collective transformation. The harmony of a relationship often lies in shared purpose. While differences add richness and depth, common goals and values create a sense of unity. These shared aspirations act as a guiding star, aligning efforts and intentions. Whether it's a family, a friendship, or a professional partnership, this sense of purpose fuels a connection that is both enduring and meaningful. It's also important to recognize that relationships are living entities, requiring care and attention to thrive. Neglect, whether intentional or unintentional, can erode even the strongest bonds. Nurturing a relationship means showing up consistently, expressing gratitude, and making an effort to understand and adapt to the changing needs of those you care about. It's an ongoing process, not a destination. Finally, empowering relationships are deeply rooted in kindness and empathy. These qualities are not signs of weakness, but of profound strength. They create an atmosphere where mistakes can be forgiven, fears can be shared, and dreams can be pursued. Empathy allows you to step into someone else's experience, while kindness offers the hand that helps them rise. Together, they form the essence of a connection that inspires and uplifts. To live harmoniously with others is to recognize the power of these relationships, not as mere interactions but as sources of energy, wisdom, and inspiration. When built with intention and care, they become more than connections. They become collaborations in the journey of life. Chapter 7. The Art of Flow. Life moves in cycles, much like the ebb and flow of a tide. There are moments of rapid progress where everything aligns and energy surges forward. Then, there are quieter times, where stillness prevails, testing your patience. Mastering the art of flow means learning to move in harmony with these rhythms, embracing both the speed and the stillness as essential parts of the journey. Progress often feels exhilarating. The pieces of the puzzle start fitting together, and the momentum builds naturally. But progress is not merely about action. It's about being in sync with the direction of your efforts. There's a profound connection between clarity and movement. When you are clear about where you're headed, the steps often unfold without resistance, much like water finding its way around obstacles. The secret to sustaining this rhythm lies in focus, not the narrow, tunnel-like focus of overexertion, but a calm, deliberate awareness that keeps your energy aligned with your goals. Patience, on the other hand, is where the real work begins. It's in the moments where nothing seems to move that the deepest lessons are learned. These pauses are not setbacks. They are spaces to recalibrate, reflect, and prepare for what's to come. Patience isn't about waiting idly. It's about cultivating trust in the process. During these times, growth often happens beneath the surface, much like seeds germinating in the soil before they sprout. Flow is not achieved by forcing either progress or patience. It's about recognizing when each is needed. Sometimes this requires stepping back and observing the rhythm of your life. Are you trying to sprint through a moment that calls for stillness? Or are you hesitating in a moment that demands action? The art of flow lies in discerning the right pace at the right time, allowing the natural rhythm to guide your efforts. There's a dance between effort and surrender that underpins the flow. Effort without surrender leads to burnout, while surrender without effort results in stagnation. The balance is in knowing when to push forward with everything you have and when to let go, trusting that what you've set in motion will unfold as it should. This balance is not static. It's dynamic, shifting with each season of life. Distractions often disrupt the rhythm of flow. They create an illusion of progress while pulling you away from the deeper current of your purpose. Mastering the art of flow means guarding your focus, not out of rigidity, but out of respect for your journey. Every action, no matter how small, should be a conscious choice that aligns with the rhythm you're creating. Flow also involves resilience. When the rhythm breaks, because it inevitably will, your ability to return to it without frustration or self-judgment determines how quickly you regain momentum. Breaks in rhythm are not failures. They are opportunities to reawaken your awareness, to listen to the signals that may have gone unnoticed before. The art of flow extends beyond personal progress. It also touches your interactions with others. Collaborating in flow requires mutual understanding of each other's rhythms, an unspoken harmony where everyone contributes without overpowering or withdrawing. Whether in relationships, teams, or communities, the collective rhythm shapes the flow of shared progress. Finally, mastering flow requires a mindset of adaptability. Life rarely moves in straight lines. Detours, delays, and disruptions are part of the landscape. Instead of resisting these changes, flowing means adjusting your course while keeping sight of the horizon. It's about moving forward with a light grip, holding on to your vision without being rigid about how you get there. The art of flow is a lifelong practice, a dance of effort and ease, of movement and stillness. It's a commitment to honoring the rhythm of your life, embracing its changes, and navigating its currents with grace and intention. Chapter 8. The Treasure Map. Dreams are the raw material of a fulfilled life, the sparks of possibility that ignite passion and purpose. Yet dreams on their own remain intangible, like stars in the night sky. Beautiful but distant. Turning them into reality requires a transformation, a process of crafting a map that not only points the way, but also makes the journey achievable. The treasure map begins with clarity. A dream without shape is like an ocean without a shore. It has no boundaries to guide it. When you envision your dream, see it with precision. as though you're already holding it in your hands. Imagine not just the end result, but the details of what it feels like, looks like, and even how it fits into the fabric of your life. This clarity is the compass that keeps you oriented, especially when distractions or challenges arise. Once the destination is clear, the next step is to break it down into actionable steps. A vast dream can feel overwhelming if seen as a whole, but when divided into smaller parts, it becomes manageable. Think of these steps as coordinates, each one leading you closer to the treasure. Focus on what you can do today, this week, or this month. Progress doesn't demand monumental leaps. It thrives on consistent incremental movement. Milestones act as markers along the journey. They're not just progress points. They're celebrations of effort and achievement. Each milestone reinforces your momentum, giving you a moment to reflect on how far you've come and recalibrate your path if needed. These markers also help you measure your actions against your intentions, ensuring that every step aligns with your greater vision. The map is not rigid. It evolves as you move forward. Sometimes new opportunities will appear, or unforeseen challenges will shift your path. Flexibility is essential. Adjusting your route doesn't mean abandoning your dream. It means you're responding to the changing terrain. The treasure map must be a living guide, adapting to your growth and the realities you encounter. Turning dreams into actionable steps also requires commitment. It's not enough to have a map. You must follow it with determination. This commitment isn't about forcing progress, but about cultivating discipline, a steady, unwavering focus on the next step, even when the journey feels long or uncertain. Commitment transforms intentions into results, forging a bridge between desire and reality. Another critical element of the treasure map is resources. Every journey requires tools, whether they be knowledge, skills, connections, or time. Identifying what you need and actively seeking it out is part of the process. This may mean learning something new, reaching out to others, or prioritizing certain activities over others. Resources are the fuel that keeps your journey moving forward. The map also requires awareness of obstacles. Every dream encounters resistance, whether from external circumstances or internal doubts. Anticipating these challenges doesn't mean fearing them. It means preparing for them. When you know what might stand in your way, you can strategize on how to overcome it, turning potential roadblocks into stepping stones. Accountability adds another layer to the map's power. Sharing your dream and your steps with someone you trust can keep you aligned with your goals. This doesn't mean relying on others to push you forward, but rather inviting them to witness your journey and provide encouragement when needed. Accountability sharpens focus and keeps you grounded in your purpose. Finally, remember that the treasure map is as much about the journey as it is about the destination. Dreams are not just about reaching an endpoint. They are about who you become along the way. Each step, each milestone, and each adjustment shapes you, teaching resilience, creativity, and perseverance. The journey itself is a treasure, even as you move toward the goal you've envisioned. By turning your dreams into actionable steps and milestones, you take the abstract and make it tangible. You give your aspirations a structure, a pathway to become real. It's a process of weaving possibility into reality, one step at a time, with the map as your guide. Chapter 9. Roots and Wings. At the heart of every pursuit, there is a delicate balance between being anchored and reaching for the sky. To dream big and achieve more, you need both the stability of roots and the freedom of wings. The roots are what connect you to your past, your values, and your identity. They give you the strength to stand tall against life's winds, allowing you to stay grounded when the world feels chaotic. Wings, on the other hand, represent the ability to soar beyond your limitations, to explore new horizons and expand your potential. Both are necessary. One without the other leads to either stagnation or aimless drifting. Your roots are the essence of who you are. They lie in your upbringing, your experiences, and the lessons you've learned through triumph and failure. Roots hold you steady during storms. They remind you of your core beliefs, and remind you why you started this journey in the first place. When faced with doubt or uncertainty, your roots are the quiet voice inside that whispers, "Remember who you are." It's this foundational strength that makes it possible to navigate change with resilience. It is not about being stuck in the past, but rather harnessing it to build a stronger future. The deeper your roots grow, the more resilient you become. They create a sturdy base that supports the expansion of your aspirations. You draw nourishment from them, using their lessons as a springboard to tackle challenges and reach further. The wisdom you accumulate through experiences becomes part of the foundation that helps you weather difficult periods, preventing you from losing your way. Just as a tree does not fear the wind, those whose roots are strong can bend without breaking and stand firm in the face of life's adversities. However, the power of roots lies not only in their strength but also in their ability to connect you to others. Just as roots intertwine with those of neighboring trees, we are linked to each other through our shared stories and values. It is through these connections that we find support, empathy, and a sense of community. Your roots give you a shared history with others that fosters collaboration and mutual growth. They provide the context and continuity that allow relationships to thrive, even as individual branches may reach in different directions. Wings, meanwhile, represent the ability to move beyond your current situation. They are the aspirations that pull you forward and the courage that drives you to leap into the unknown. To have wings means to recognize the power of possibilities, to go beyond what is familiar and comfortable. It means taking calculated risks, stepping outside your comfort zone, and exploring what lies beyond the horizon. Wings symbolize growth and change, the journey of learning that happens when you venture into uncharted territory. Wings are nurtured by a mindset that embraces learning and adaptation. When you push yourself to expand, you meet new perspectives and ideas that challenge your assumptions and fuel your evolution. These wings don't just take you to new places, they push you to become more than you were, to reimagine what's possible and pursue goals that once seemed unattainable. The journey is not always smooth. There will be moments when your wings falter or when turbulence tests your resolve. But it's in these moments of struggle that you learn to adjust, to find a better rhythm, and to fly higher than you did before. Balancing your roots and wings requires self-awareness and intention. You cannot fly effectively without a strong base, just as you cannot remain firmly planted without reaching for growth. The key is learning when to pull on the roots for strength and when to spread your wings for the thrill of discovery. There are moments when life requires you to stay put, to deepen your understanding and strengthen your foundation. At other times, it's about shedding the weight that holds you back and daring to take off into new possibilities. To stay grounded while reaching for greater heights, it's important to reflect regularly. Take moments to assess whether your ambitions are aligned with your core values and if your actions are nourishing your roots as well as strengthening your wings. Find time for introspection that allows you to appreciate where you've come from, so that when you push forward, you do so with intention and purpose. This alignment between roots and wings leads to growth that is not only sustainable, but also deeply fulfilling. Wings are most powerful when they are guided by roots that know where they are headed. The stronger your understanding of who you are and what truly matters to you, the more precise your flight becomes. Your direction is not dictated by whims or external pressures, but by an inner compass that is deeply connected to your roots. This balance allows you to reach new heights while remaining true to your essence. As you strive for greater heights, remember that growth is not just about achieving milestones. It's about the balance between being grounded and taking flight. It's the courage to stay connected to your roots while giving yourself the freedom to stretch your wings and chase what lies ahead. This dynamic harmony ensures that the journey is not just one of ambition, but of meaningful progress, leaving behind a legacy that honors both where you come from and where you're heading. Chapter 10. Legacy in Motion. To live a life that echoes beyond the moment is to understand that our true impact extends far beyond the here and now. It is an awareness that our actions, no matter how small, weave a thread into the larger tapestry of time. Legacy is not just about building monuments or achieving fame. It's about the ripple effects of the way we show up in the world, how we inspire those around us, and the values we leave behind in the hearts of others. Each decision, each interaction, and each moment has the potential to leave an imprint that transcends our own lifetimes. Legacy is created in the quiet moments of our lives. It is in the patience shown to a friend who is struggling, the encouragement given to a colleague who doubts themselves, or the simple kindness offered to a stranger. These small, seemingly inconsequential acts create a foundation that supports those who come after us, much like the roots of a tree that nourish the earth. Our legacy is built on what we choose to leave behind, not in physical things, but in the memories, lessons, and moments that others carry forward. These moments are the echoes that continue long after we have gone, resonating in the lives of those we've touched. One of the greatest misconceptions about legacy is that it must be grandiose or extraordinary to matter. The truth is, the most profound legacies are often found in the smallest gestures. A teacher who sparks curiosity in a student, a mentor who guides an aspiring professional, a parent who instills values that will shape a generation. These are not just acts of service, they are acts of creation. They set into motion a cycle of influence that we may never see in its entirety, but that continues to spread and evolve over time. It is easy to focus on what we can accumulate or achieve in our lifetime. We measure success through titles, accolades, or possessions, but true legacy is not confined to what we accumulate. It's the way we make others feel, the resilience we demonstrate in the face of challenges, and the wisdom we share. It's in how we inspire others to reach beyond their fears, to strive for more, and to believe in their potential even when the path is unclear. A legacy takes root when we lead by example, showing that integrity, compassion, and courage are not just values to aspire to, but ways of being that shape the world. To live a legacy in motion means embracing the impermanence of life and recognizing that every action, whether seen or unseen, plays a part in the greater story. It requires a shift from thinking about what we will leave behind to focusing on who we are becoming and how we live in the present. This isn't about perfection, it's about intention. It's about aligning our actions with our deepest beliefs and values so that our life becomes a reflection of what we hope to inspire in others. Building a legacy requires conscious choices that align with your higher purpose. It's about being deliberate with the time you have, knowing that each moment spent with purpose builds upon the last. It's in the moments of discipline when no one is watching, the times when you push through doubt and fear, and the times when you choose love over resentment. These moments shape not only your character, but also the story you leave behind. The people who come into contact with you carry fragments of your influence with them. Sometimes those lessons echo in ways you never anticipate, spreading into other lives and creating waves of transformation. A legacy is also forged through vulnerability. The willingness to share our struggles and failures makes us human and relatable. When we show others that we are not defined by our mistakes but by how we rise from them, we empower them to do the same. To live with an open heart and a willingness to learn and grow is to lay a foundation that others can build upon. It's through our vulnerability that we create connections that last, relationships that turn into lifelong bonds, and communities that stand strong even in times of hardship. Every person we encounter is an opportunity to create a legacy. It's not always about grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as listening without judgment or sharing a moment of laughter. Those shared experiences are what people remember, what sticks with them when life gets tough. Legacy is living in such a way that even when we are no longer present, the values we embodied continue to resonate in the choices and actions of those we've inspired. Our life becomes a spark that fuels others' passions, dreams, and aspirations, creating a cycle of growth and possibility that lives on. What we leave behind is not just what we've done, but who we've been. It is in the way we've carried ourselves with integrity, the way we've stood by others when they needed support, and the way we've turned obstacles into stepping stones. It's in the belief that our small efforts matter, and in the understanding that a life of meaning is built one moment at a time. Legacy in motion is not a destination, but a continuous journey. A legacy that evolves as we grow, expands as we give, and ripples outward as we love. In a world that often seeks quick fixes and instant results, creating a legacy that endures requires patience and commitment. It means showing up, day after day, and investing in the moments that matter most. It's knowing that even if we don't see the outcome of our efforts, the energy we contribute will continue to flow, touching lives we may never know, and inspiring others to keep passing it forward. This is the true art of leaving a legacy that moves and grows, leaving an echo that transcends time. Conclusion. As the final echoes of this journey settle, the truth becomes clear. A life of purpose is not a destination marked by applause or a towering monument, but a series of moments stitched together with intention, resilience, and heart. It's in the subtleties of our actions, the quiet perseverance when no one is watching, and the courage to show up every day as the truest version of ourselves. Legacy isn't an event we plan for or a milestone we reach. It's the silent witness to our choices, the testament that lives in the ripple effects of our existence. What we create through our relationships, our dreams, and the steady pursuit of what we hold dear transcends time and space. Our impact becomes a living, breathing entity, far more powerful than we often allow ourselves to believe. It finds its way into the stories of those who come after us, who remember us not just for what we achieved, but for how we made them feel, for the way we inspired them to reach beyond the limits they once thought defined them. The question, then, isn't whether we'll leave behind a legacy. It's what kind of legacy we'll leave. Will it be one that echoes with a sense of purpose, a commitment to growth, and the beauty of imperfections embraced? Will it be a story of strength, woven with threads of kindness, resilience, and a daring to break through barriers? Or will it be a silent chapter, full of what-ifs and missed opportunities? When we shift our focus from what we can accumulate to what we can contribute, we start to see life in its most authentic light. We start to understand that our legacy isn't just built in the grand gestures, but in the small, everyday acts that are the true markers of our time here. It's in the moments of quiet influence, in the conversations that lift others, in the choices made when the path isn't easy. So, as you walk forward from these pages, carry with you the understanding that your life, right here, right now, is the brush with which you paint your legacy. Every heartbeat is a note in the symphony of your existence, and every day is a chance to add to the song that will echo long after the music stops. Live with courage. Live with love. And remember that the greatest legacy is not one of fame, but of lives touched, paths illuminated, and hearts inspired. The true measure of your journey is not found in the possessions you leave behind, but in the lives you've changed and the light you've passed on.